Welcome back to part 2 of the Exploder series, as I like to call it. The guy went ahead and decided to do some work off camera. Got the old brake caliper and the rotor off. Actually, I can show you the parts right now. As you can see here, there's barely any thickness left on this brake caliper right here, this brake rotor right here. So that's junk. And this caliper right here is leaking brake fluid like mad from the brake cylinder, as you can see. So it's junk too. Now, let's get the new used parts installed on it. By new used means that they're used, but they're new to this thing right here. So let's get ready to install it. First step, get your brake rotor on there and kind of just put it on like so. Then get your brake caliper. I got the pads already with it because, you know, they got about 47.5% brakes left in them. That's good enough. I'll show you how to do it in just a second. Okay, so what you do is, it's off, right? See this? You put them here. You just set them right there, just like so. And then you tilt this right on there, as you can see. And these kind of just push them right there, and these kind of drop in place like that. Now we need to get the bolts. They're 10 millimeters, and we'll put them right on. You go to a junkyard, top tip, make sure you get the hardware with you when you're getting things. In this case, I just did the right thing and didn't do that, but luckily I've saved my old ones right here. And speaking of, you're supposed to grease these, as you can see, so they go in this little tube right here. But for me, I'm just going to do the right thing and put them in. Just kind of shove it in just like so. Kind of align it up. Put it in place. Same thing with the bottom one. You kind of put it in there and just kind of a few ugga-duggas, just like so. Make sure it doesn't come out and just zip it in the rest of the way. And for this hose right here, you're supposed to take it off from the bolt, but when you're at the junkyard, you just do the right thing and just snip her off like that. And then you attach the brake line that's on the car onto here. We're going to do that right now. These rear bolts, they're a 10 millimeter. Just go ahead and tighten them like that. Till you feel like it's comfortable, you just let go. We don't deal with torque specs around here. You do the bottom the same way, and I'm too lazy to adjust the camera to show you the bottom one. So you're just going to have to take my word on that. This one right here, we're going to have to take it off. This one's a 14. You're just going to have to take my word on it. You're going to have to break it loose. Take it out the rest of the way. Too much brake fluid. Great. So, this copper O-ring right here goes on the back of the bolt. Put her on there and just zing her on there as so. Now, get your handy dandy 14 millimeter and just give her a few ugga-duggas. Just call it good. You know, that kind of thing. We're going to tighten these bolts up again real quick just to make sure they don't come flying off or nothing. They ain't going going nowhere. Yep, they ain't going nowhere. Right now, we're gonna put the wheel on. Perfect idea. Just lift it over on top of your jack. Smart idea. Very smart idea. A top tip, by the way, if you can't pick up the wheel for some reason, I can, but you know, get your feet just like this around the wheel, as you can see. Just use your feet to pick it up. And just kind of twist it, and as you can see, it's a whole lot easier to do it that way. Now, push it on there real good. Get your lug nuts. And just zing them away. Now, you take your jack, lower it. Remember, these are only finger tight. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our handy dandy ratchet, and the 19 millimeter in this case, just tighten them up and just the way. Obviously, that's not enough. So we're going to take it an extra step. Quick tip for those guys who don't have a breaker bar. Use your same ratchet and your same socket, whatever you're using. Get a socket that fits right over the ratchet, nice and snug, and get the longest extension that you got. Boom! Breaker bar. Just use it. Now as you can see, get a whole lot more leverage that way. In some ways it's better than a breaker bar because you can ratchet it. But in some ways it's not as good because you could damage your ratcheting gears. So I only recommend this if you don't have breaker bars. I have them, but I'm doing the right thing and just showing you guys. It's got enough leverage, as you can see. It's moving the whole car. I think we're going to call it good right there. And we're going to disassemble everything and put our center cap back on. And now, it's time to get some brakes working. Well, a guy got his family out here watching me film and everything, so we'll get to work anyways though. So we got some brake fluid, .3 in this case. We're going to just dump it down the master cylinder since we checked it out, and there was not a drop of it. Well, we realized that all the lines are empty pretty much. So let's bleed the brakes right now. First thing you need to do to bleed the brakes is you need to start with the wheel furthest away from the brake master cylinder, which is the right rear. And then you go to the left rear, and then you go to the right front, then the left front, which is pretty much the closest. So let's do that right now. Well, to bleed the brakes, you're going to need to crack the bleeder valve open. And in this case, we're going to use a 10 millimeter ratcheting wrench, and you're going to have a fella in the driver's seat hitting the brakes for you so you can push out all that air and bad fluid and all that stuff. And all that while you're checking the brake master cylinder. You do not want to have that thing go low. You always want to top it off. V8. Well, we did a little bit of work off camera, me and my dad. We bled the brakes all the way around, and check this out. This literally fell from the brake caliper to the ground. Yeah. Like, it's rubbing metal on metal. Well, this is junk. Now we're going to have to take this caliper off and see if it's damaged. And we know the rotor is shot, so let's take a look. Well, to take this caliper off without the bracket, in this case this one's got a bracket all the way around it. That one does too, but we never took it off. Anyway, take this one off. Now we're going to have to take it off from the bracket because we're going to have to pull the rotor too to see how bad that is. It's pretty bad, I'm telling you. You're going to need a 15mm and a handy dandy ratchet. Not this one. We're going to get the big gun. Not this inky dinky 15mm. In some cases you might need a shorter one, but still stepping up enough. That doesn't fit. Great. God dang it. I was taking out the wrong bolt here. Again, if you need leverage, you can still use a smaller extension if you've got room. Perfect. And you loosen it the rest of the way. I hope I took the right bolt out this time. It's one, and that's two. Let's take it off. Ooh. Oh gosh. Ooh. Yeah, definitely safe to drive on if you ask me. Set that up here, and I'm gonna come show you guys. Okay. So obviously, as you can see, there's no brake pad on here. Look at that. Just look at that. Just stuck in there. Ooh, it took the cylinder with it. Oh, look at that. Just... Man, it's on there. Look at that. Just look at it. There ain't nothing left. Yeah. Look at this. Just took the whole caliper with it. This is what happens if you don't change your brakes, guys. Look. Just look at this. This is what happens if you don't change your own brakes. Or take them to a guy to fix them or whatever. Things like this happen. Oh look, it's leaking. See? Oh yeah, I'm afraid she's gonna need a new front caliper. And let's take a look at the rotor. Just pull it off. Yeah, this one's shot too. All the grooving and everything. She's all-wheel drive. Oh! Okay, all-wheel drive delete. I like that. Hold up. Yeah. See? All-wheel drive delete. Perfect. Because they know the transfer case is messed up. And they went ahead and did a delete kit. Great. So now we know that doesn't work. Doesn't matter though. But yeah, there's that for you. Well, since this was bad, a guy went to the junkyard and got me a new used one like I did the back. And did the same with the rotor. New used rotor. Same idea. Used but new to this. Now we need to break this little hose loose. It's a 15mm. I'm going to break that right now. I apologize for the noise of the cars because we are literally on the side of the road right now. It's just great. It's kind of manly working on the road. Like working on the car right on the side of the road. Break it loose. And oops. Brake fluid all over the place. Now, I'm going to put on the new rotor. And the new caliper. Now, this is the new caliper. There you go. Get it on there. What was that? Yeah, that's a good string of bad luck. Great. Now, get on there. I did bring bolts with me, but I'm too lazy, so I'm just going to reuse. I'll do the right thing and use what I got. Oh, some big music. It's copyright, unfortunately. So you just set the caliper in place. Put the screws in by hand first before you tighten them with an impact so you won't cross thread them. That's just great. Oh, get in there. There we go. It's one. It's two. Just kind of tighten them with your hands barely. It's also handy to have your rag to wipe your hands every other 2 seconds. Where did I put that stupid bolt? Dang it. Just had it. Oh! I want some caliper cylinders. You can have them for free. Not really. Oh, I'd be dipped if it wasn't just right on the floor. And again, you tighten it with your hand so you won't cross thread it. Perfect. Now, let's tighten it up with the ratchet. About foot-pounds of torque. For the other guy, we're going to use the big guns. I'm going to tighten the top bolt that holds the bracket. That should be enough. Moment of truth, we bled the brakes, we put the new caliper on the left and on the right and the left rear. We got brakes! It won't go to the floor no matter how hard I push it. Okay, time to go to the next step. Well, the battery died on us and we couldn't film the test drive. But in summary, this turned out to be an amazing car. Engine runs very smooth, transmission shifts great. I did check the transmission fluid right after I bought it, and it was super clean. So I was assuming either it was bad and they were trying to hide it, or somebody may have put a new transmission in it at one point or another. And all we have to do is take care of like the brakes and everything. So after we put everything, I have heard some humming over on the passenger side wheel over there. So it's probably a wheel bearing, and that's what we're probably going to do in the next episode of getting this Ford Explorer back on the road. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment below, and hit that subscribe button if you want to see more content. And for now guys, take care, have a great day.